Thank you everyone for clicking into my video. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing, for subscribing, leaving a like, and most important, leaving your opinion. Okay, let's begin with today's videos. Today, have you wondered why NATO's army always seeks wars with countries with small militarization or with lack technology? NATO is a multi-government of billions invested in armamentistic technology. Governments of North America and Europe make up this organization. This organization has fought with countries like Grenada, Panama, mm, Dominican Republic, and later on in the late 20th century, they went on to begin wars with pastoralistic nations like Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, until these nations decided to find allies and forcefully change their hurling sticks for missiles. Now NATO, the empire in decline, and times that the times that they could intimidate the rest of the world are distant memories. Now NATO is incapable of conquering. They can not longer steal from other nations and are not able to afford the ship's maintenance. Many interested in the subject have looked for answers. Some of the information found, for example, the British Prince of Wales aircraft carrier leaks water while in Portsmouth-based port. According to media reports, it appears that a firefighting water tank broke on the ship and flooded critical equipment. Experts talk about the need for repairs. They will last 6 months or more, where millions of pounds are needed. The Prince of Wales is one of the two largest aircraft carriers in the British Navy. The first ship of its class is called Queen Elizabeth. These aircraft carriers cost 8 billion pounds. Both suffer from technical deterioration, accidents, equipment failure, and maintenance problems, and have become expensive and impressively ineffective. Among the experts, these aircraft carriers were manufactured only for their beauty, the external prestige, to the greatest extent. Also, according to rumors, to serve the monetary interests of the shipyards, that they only operate on Sundays in the ports of the British Commonwealth. The current politicians in power can be visited by the former subjects of His Majesty. Let's talk about the largest ship in British Navy. Its construction began in 2011. It was included in the British Navy in 2017, only 3 years ago. 3 years ago. For the first year, the Russian aircraft killer missiles were already known. This makes these ships unusable. The ship's first mission took place in Mediterranean and the Middle East regions. Then it was transferred to waters of China. The British politicians then declared that Great Britain is willing to defend its interests through forceful power. The fact is that the power of the Russian or Chinese missiles was not necessary. 2 weeks after the start of the training at sea, Queen Elizabeth fled the battlefield and returned to the dock for repairs. People interested in the subject began to investigate all docks. This is how new exciting details about the aircraft carrier team came out. Initially, an EMALS electromagnetic catapult would be installed aboard the aircraft carrier to launch aircraft. For some reason, the British government bought several F-35C fighters from the United States. It officially attributed to an economic issue to reduce the project's cost. Still, it turned out to be the same or even more expensive. Let me tell you, the F-35C is the newest and high technology, which means a costly aircraft of American manufacture. Problems arose with the ship's system software. According to rumors, the ship's computer were equipped with Microsoft Windows XP, no longer supported. What's that about? The main problem Queen Elizabeth and Prince Wales have, according to the experts, is not a flaw. The fact is that this aircraft design does not have a system to defend against an enemy. Hmm? What good is it? This means that they need to score to be unscored for dozen ships to ensure safety, to be somewhat protected. British Britain does not have enough money. This is stated directly in the report of the British Parliament's Spending Control Mission. The failure of the Ministry of Defence to fund several critical areas of support will limit the use of aircraft carriers for many years. Britain has spent £8 billion on huge, beautiful, menacing looking ships with three technical problems. They are not very good at navigating or lucidity, excuse me, lucidity. They don't scare anyone who has Russian Zircon missiles or a weapon similar. It cannot be called a failed project in the modernization of the British Royal Navy. According to Western experts, this is an ongoing problem in the British Navy. Russia has paid close attention to the Royal Fleet since 2016-17 when following the sanctions following the annexion of Crimea. Great Britain alone decided to strictly control northern Russia. These intentions were expressed in the fact that in 2016 it was publicly announced in the English newspaper, the Sunday Times, that the British submarines would return to patrol Russia's northern borders. According to another English newspaper, The Sun, in 2017, the British Navy's seven nuclear submarines were not on alert. They were under repair. Military experts currently inform the British fleet as a combat unit is designed only to face a technical backward enemy with little army equipment. The Royal Navy is inadequate to carry out conventional war at sea, as understood in the last third of the 20th century. There is only enough equipment for the bombing of small countries, something NATO usually calls humanitarian. Hmm? This means that the Royal Navy does not have the strength, resources, or will to maintain the Queen of the Sea status. It has no chance against countries China or Russia. Furthermore, the British did not have enough money for strategic programs, nor the ability to spend this money wisely. Example, to reduce the number of escorts needed for advanced and more modern aircraft carriers. England's most crucial partner in NATO, the US, has no better times. On December 4th, 2020, the U.S. Navy supply ships USNS Washington Sanders entered San Diego's Bay, home to, to the second largest U.S. Navy base in a sorry state. This is relatively new cargo ships of the Lewis and Clark class. It has been in service since February 2011 and is designed to deliver ammunition, food, drinking water, and petroleum products for the U.S. Navy ships on high seas, allowing the fleet to maintain combat readiness for longer time or a long time. The U.S. edition wrote, the newspaper says that the Pentagon is pushing its army to the limit. This manifests itself because they because their boats and vessels become unusable after prolonged operations requiring high performance in long-term operations without proper maintenance. These ships entered service less than 10 years ago. Its entire hull and superstructure are covered with dark stains of rust. It is an alarming testimony and situation developed in the United States Navy and does not surprise anyone. Well, my friends, we're coming close to the end here. It is unknown how long the USNS Washington Chamber will be out of service. The Pentagon is bravely silent. The American newspaper said it can be deduced that, that maritime transport is a potential weak point in the entire U.S. Navy's strategy. To see such a young and essential ship in such a state is very unpleasant, said the newspaper. My friends, we have come to the end. Watching my blogs, my channel. I appreciate your time. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends. Have an excellent weekend, and don't forget to help someone in your community, as you might be the only one who does. Ciao, ciao for now, my friends.